Always let me know if everything is good with the visuals and or the video, not visuals, the video and audio. I have a lot going on this second, so I can get myself glad you could join. We'll just wait a few minutes for hopefully more people to join here. Another spontaneous Q&A. This one was quicker because the last one I did last week, or I think it was last week. So it's better than the several month delay between them that we used to have. Computer screen or the computer camera, and you said looks like you're back on the Walking Dead content again. Not really. I mean, here and there maybe, but I'm not back full time. Like, don't expect me to talk about the trailer actions or episodes go down that I really love. I might do say I hate what they're doing, which is what I've been doing in the last few videos. But no, I'm not 100% back. Simba Fan 2024 Q&A hash. Do you think it's completely unrealistic that The Walking Dead still has so many walkers? Unrealistic. I mean, yes and no. Communities having cornered in large by this time, over time, what I would expect to see is like corners of the universe showing us communities are, having thousands of walkers in a specific section and they don't go anywhere near it. It's almost like the dead zone that they were talking about in the Walking Dead spin-off Tales of the Walking Dead. As I'm talking, I see my camera is actually dying, the battery. So let me actually switch that. Hopefully the other one has a full charge. So give me just a few minutes. I should have checked this, but anyway, give me a few minutes. Okay, let me know if everything is good. My camera did die, so I had to switch it, and then my audio wasn't working, so now I think I'm good to go. Let me know if everything's good. A thumbs up or good to go, comment. One of those is good, and I'll jump back into where I left off. Let me know if everything's good. I don't want to be answering questions when it's on no sound or no video, so okay, all good, perfect. Where was I? Let me get back to where I was. Let me just do this here quick. Pop out chat. Okay. Where were we? Okay. Simba fan 2024. Greg shouldn't have said what he did about the fans. It's very insulting. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I already said my piece about that, and that was one of, not the only, contributing factors to what, basically why I made the decision to not do any more Walking Dead. At least 95% of my usual Walking Dead videos is not going to be there anymore. And that was one of the contributing factors. Animated Alex, how would you want Rick and Daryl to reunite? Here's the thing. At this point, it's way too late. Whatever they do is cheesy and corny, honestly. So, is there a way to do that without being corny or cheesy? No. At this point, no. It's way too late for that. But with where we are, what would pass, in my opinion, is something where Rick doesn't show up to save Daryl, because that's the cheesiest part of it. Don't do that. Have Daryl and Carol get back to America, perfect, and then Rick is at Commonwealth, great. And then to explain what happened, you can just say they were planning to send out a unit. They've been working with CRM and Commonwealth. They've got hints that Daryl and Carol have used a boat or got into a boat or something to get out of the States, and because they don't have the resources, they have to work with CRM. They have to get the CRM to help them, and that's why it was taking as long as it was taking. Something like that, and then have them reunite somehow. To me, that's better than having Rick magically appear in Europe with a helicopter saving Daryl. I think that's one of the cheesiest things they could do, but I think that's what they're probably gonna do. Simba fan 2024. Honestly, I'm not as invested in The Walking Dead that much anymore either, being honest. Yeah, I mean, many fans aren't. And the YouTubers that pretend, they're not invested either. They're just doing it because they have to make money somehow. Let's just be honest. I mean, the YouTube stuff for me is a side hustle, or not even that. It's a passion project type thing. So because of that, I'm not as invested to force a video or pretend in a video. But there are other channels that I think they don't have that luxury. They don't have that to their advantage. And I think for them, they have to make it seem like they're invested. If they criticize the show, they have to make sure they criticize it just to a point where it's safe. You know what I mean? But yeah, I totally hear you. Animated Alex, what do you think could Walking Dead writers improve on? Stop recycling stories. Stop giving characters this much of a plot armor. I mean, you have all of the main characters on the original. They're just not there anymore. Bring them back, kill them off. It's fine. It's absolutely okay to do that at this point. We need some big deaths. We need some risky writing. Don't bring us characters, have us try to invest into characters that don't mean anything. You just kill off in 2 episodes. In new communities, we absolutely give no damn about. You know what I mean? And like I said, no more recycled stories. Stop with the recycling of the stories and give us something new, some new perspective. There's tons of things they could do. There's stuff with the virus they could, explore. There's tons with the military they could explore, like what happened to them. Maybe a POV from there. The government, all of that. They have a lot to give us. There's a lot of gaps in the universe. They're just refilling things that have already been filled thousands of times. Animated Alex, how embarrassing for a Daryl Dixon spinoff to only go for 4 seasons. Yeah, I mean, they butchered. I mean, I'm not a fan of the fast zombie stuff from the season 1. Like, I don't think it fits the universe of The Walking Dead. But season 1 was light years ahead of season 2 and 3. And even the lights ahead of the Dead City seasons. So, yeah. And you thought Daryl was their cash cow. Synth Love DNA. I was just commenting about how I need The Walking Dead to go on with Rick, CRM versus Commonwealth Runners, but I can keep dreaming. That at this point, 1, it's too late for something like that, just to put that out there, and 2, even if they do it, even if it doesn't feel like it's late, even if they do it great, they're not gonna do it because AMC doesn't go anywhere close to that, because that's closing the story to them, which it's not. I mean, I can give that tons of potential stories after that, but that doesn't matter. AMC doesn't want to go anywhere near that type of story because to them, that's wrapping up the story. They don't want that. Now I'm caught up, but there's no new comments or anything, which is weird. Hopefully we're still live. Let me check. So it looks like we are still live, but I don't see new comments. I don't see new comments, which is odd. Let me... Okay. It was just a pop-out chat. What is going on? Okay, now I'm seeing the new comments. I stopped seeing the new questions, but it's back now. Synth Love DNA. I should be writing the next phase. I can still save this. I mean, many fans are more qualified, to be completely honest. Unlike the the Greg Nicotero comment who said unqualified internet reviewers. I think many unqualified internet reviewers are a lot more qualified to write good stories in the Walking Dead universe at this point. Animated Alex, hopefully someday The Walking Dead can be great again, because my god, what we get is terrible. Yeah. I mean, unpopular opinion, what we're getting with the Daryl Dixon spinoff in season 2-3, and also what we got with Dead City in season 2, partly season 1-2, it's not better than season 7 and 8 of The Walking Dead either. Like, those seasons were better. Maybe these seasons get, or the spin-offs get a bit more budget, but my god, this story is trash. Synth Love DNA, if they really want to push new stories, they should hire new people. Absolutely. Absolutely. And they need to stop recycling stories and bringing the OGs back and giving them a plot armor and just saying, you know, this is the best we could do. You like Carol, you like Daryl, you like Rick. Here you go. This is an absolutely mid story with these characters you love. But that's not what we want. I would rather have a great story with a character I don't like that much, or a mid character, than a trash story with a character I love. Animated Alex, the biggest problem about these spin-offs is there's no sense of danger for our main characters, since AMC doesn't have the balls to kill off these characters and can't write a good story. Absolutely. In a nutshell, what I absolutely agree with, 100%. Animated Alex, and like you said, the fact that they keep killing off new characters, you start to wonder what's even the point of these spin-offs. Exactly. Like, there's no point if a character that we love is killed off, right? Like a new character they bring in, The Ones Who Live, great example. There was a few characters, a lot of potential. I actually thought these are actually cool characters. I could stand behind watching these characters long term. They just killed them off. Okafor was one of them. Michonne's sidekick was one of them. Just absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Synth Love DNA. I think the most qualified persons to keep this thing alive is a true fan. Absolutely. Animated Alex. Yeah, like your spin-off idea sounds way better than what we get. I don't know which idea you're referring to, but yeah. I mean, at this point, any fan idea is better than what we get. Animated Alex. Facts, bro. I agree. It's crazy to even think we thought season 7 and 8 were the worst thing to come out of The Walking Dead. I think we owe an apology to those seasons. I mean, we had an episode showing us Morgan on a toilet in Fear the Walking Dead. That's the lowest. I think maybe the spin-offs are not that low yet. Fear managed to be the lowest point. But as far as quality-wise, maybe you can't compare it to Fear that way, because Fear at that point was trash, literal trash. But right now, you can't really say the spin-offs are that bad, but still, that's a pretty low bar. Animated Alex, yeah, true, Fear is still worse. Yeah. Like, one of the seasons, was it season... I think it was season 5. Where was it, like... What were we doing in that season? Balloons going everywhere. Morgan on a toilet. That was, like, literally the biggest fail of AMC, I think, ever. Animated Alex can't barely remember anything that happened in them. Yeah, exactly. Nobody does. See, with Fear specifically, this is my thought. First 3 seasons, it was okay. Was expecting a bit more, but it was pretty good. It was solid. And then season 4 was Morgan. Okay, Morgan's back. Season 5 is, I don't know what's going on. Season 6 is, I don't know what's going on. We're waiting for Madison. Season 7, I don't know what's going on. We're waiting for Alicia and Madison. And that was it. And then they obviously came out near the end, both at the same time. Mostly, we don't know what's going on. Like, it was so out, like, it was all over the place. Fear was definitely all over the place. It feels like 3 different shows, all in one. Animated Alex, also I was talking about your... Oh, you took that message, retracted that message, it's fine. I couldn't read all of it anyway. I'm sure you'll write it again. Since Left DNA, I kind of loved Fear in season 6 when the bombs, like the nuclear story, nuclear bomb or whatever it was, submarine. I mean, it was okay. It was maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10 for me that season. Animated Alex, sorry about that. No problem. You're okay. Synth loved DNA, but they destroyed it. They definitely destroyed it. Yeah, the nukes, yeah. I mean, it was... I gotta give it to them. It was unique story, but there was a lot of loopholes with that. Or like a lot of plot holes, I mean, not loopholes. Plot holes with that. Animated Alex, I was just saying you made a video about a military spin-off idea video. It sounded better than anything we get. Yeah, I think I know which one you mean. I was talking about like the missing stories in The Walking Dead. Is that the one it was? Yeah, I had like 3 different perspectives or something. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't think I can find it right now. But I know which one you mean. Like I had like a journalist idea in there. I had like a military government type thing. Synth Love DNA, I really thought it was going to play a bigger role with Alicia Trapp building a society in the bunker and many things. Yeah, like that's the problem. The biggest problem. The writers are not connecting the dots. It's like isolated. All of these stories are isolated, but it's in the same universe. It can't be isolated, but they don't care. It's like Scott Gimple said, it's dreamlike. The timeline is dreamlike, which is code for we do whatever we want, even if it doesn't make sense. Synth Love DNA, but I don't like the way they managed it all, yeah. Animated Alex, what happened to Fear? The Walking Dead was tragedy. Yeah, it was. Absolutely. Animated Alex, I thought Teddy was an interesting villain. He just didn't have a proper motive. Yeah. I agree with you 100%. Like, that was when Fear was starting to be maybe good again. Or maybe good. Not again, but maybe good. But they ran it into the ground. What did I do again? I did something, guys. I have to pop out chat again. I lost the chat again. What's going on today? I keep losing the chat. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if it's reading the new comments again. 1 second. I have to refresh it. 1 sec. Hopefully I don't lose any of your comments when I refresh. If I don't answer a question, it's probably because it was gone on my screen. So just ask it again. Animated Alex, Gimple is basically saying, I give up, guys. Yeah, absolutely. He absolutely is saying, I give up. He's not even trying anymore. Animated Alex, and Morgan with these red eyes and bounty hunter outfit looked so badass. Yeah, but they ran that into the ground too, didn't they? Like every time there was a chance of a bounce for fear, they just ruined it. I don't know if I'm getting the latest comments, because it's kind of stuck on a comment. I have to refresh it every time to see new ones. So let me just go see. Yeah, so it looks like, again, it's not working. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it outside the pop-out chat because the pop-out chat is not working. Anyway, you don't care about that. You just care about comments and questions. Animated Alex, unfortunately, yes, fear rioters can't keep a good story. Yeah, that's the same way I feel about Daryl Dixon writers right now. Like, it's like they can't write a decent story, which is odd, because there was some great writing in The Walking Dead in the past. I don't know what happened. Where did those writers go? I don't see any new questions, but I don't know if that's... Okay, there we go. There's more coming in. Just wanted to make sure it's not frozen. Anyway, Alex. Fans really got to calm down about Rick Grimes returning. He's only gonna appear for like 5 seconds. Yeah. I know. I agree. I agree. And the YouTube Walking Dead community is gaslighting it so much that I feel it's giving fans who may not may not really think about it. They're giving them big expectations, and they're hyping it up so much that they're gonna be underwhelmed with what they get, and that's a big problem. That's one of the reasons why I keep doing these Rick return videos, saying keep your expectations low. Like, I feel like some, I'm not gonna name names, but some YouTubers are just using it to get clicks without actually thinking long term how it's gonna make fans who watch that want to watch the show and then watch it and be disappointed. And It's like I don't think they realize that it has that effect, or maybe they realize they just don't care. As long as they get the clicks, get the views, get the money. Synth Love DNA, I know, but I'm an artist. I love to theorize. Synth Love DNA, The Walking Dead has inspired me a lot. Yeah, and many people. Many people. Me included. That doesn't mean I have to love everything they do, though. That doesn't mean I can't call out when it's garbage or when it's slipping. It's been slipping for a while. Right now, it's just completely off the cliff. It slipped so much that it's off the cliff. Animated Alex. The worst part is about fear they've never finished Morgan's story. Yeah. And that's the other thing. I feel like fans are gaslighting three main stories. Rick reunion with Daryl, Rick reunion with Morgan, Rick with CRM versus Commonwealth. Or with Commonwealth versus CRM. However that turns out. Those three stories are gaslit so much at this point. Synth Love DNA. That's why it's frustrating that something that has connected with me that much has become something so dull. Yeah, absolutely. See, for me, it was The Ones Who Live. After The Ones Who Live, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna crash. I just knew at that point the franchise is gonna crash because you have so much potential for this one show, and if you run it to the ground that bad, that means there's something seriously wrong. And that means that if you can't have your star character and star story, CRM, saving the franchise, then nothing is going to save the franchise. Animated Alex, and at this point, I'm starting to doubt Morgan will ever return. If he does, it'll be another Rick situation where he comes for a few seconds to reunite with someone. That's it. Animated Alex, he should have appeared in The Ones Who Live. Yes, I agree. I think for as bad as The Ones Who Live was, for as short and rushed as it was, the end needed, it must have, not needed, it must have included a reunion between Rick and everyone. Like when he goes to the Commonwealth, we needed an entire, maybe 30 minutes of Rick getting caught up with some things and maybe like reuniting with people like Daryl and Morgan and Carol and not Michonne, but Michonne was with him, but like everyone. Negan even. I didn't want it to feel like a hospital visit type thing either. You know what I'm trying to say? Like one person to the next, let's visit, let's reunite. I didn't want that, but at the same time, they needed something more. They give us the absolute minimum with RJ and Judith meeting with Rick. That was the absolute minimum. And they weren't even gonna do that. That was an alternate ending that ended up being the real ending. Like, they just changed the ending and added that because the actors could make it. You know what I mean? So they weren't even gonna give us that. Animated Alex, what's your thoughts on the Jeffrey Grimes theory? It's definitely a theory. It's predictable if they do it. It'll be a gimmick story if they do it. It will feel forced if they do it. It'll feel unrealistic if they do it. But if they find that they need something gimmicky, they need some shock, they will do it. I'm gonna feel indifferent about it though if they do it, because it's cool, but at the same time, it's predictable, gimmicky, doesn't change the fact that the franchise is crashing. Synth-Love DNA. The ones who live made everything else fall apart. Sorry, but it's true. Yeah, the ones who live single-handedly screwed up the entire timeline of the entire franchise. Like, entire franchise. That's why Gimple can't really do anything about it, because with that existing, that means nothing makes sense anymore. Like, nothing. In many ways, if they made the CRM's base be in Europe and Rick was transported to somewhere where he was taken to Europe, that would have been more realistic. Why they haven't found them for so long. And it would have even made it more realistic why Daryl would have ended up in Europe. You know what I mean? But again, that's one of the things where even my half-baked idea feels better than what they gave us. Animated Alex, we're hard on the franchise because we love it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could easily just not talk about any more Walking Dead, and mentally I'll be better off. And there's other things that I could cover, other things I could invest on. And I wouldn't have diehard fans, attacking me because I'm saying that the show is bad. But I'm only doing it because I love the franchise, that I think it could do so much more, Animated Alex still can't get over the fact that CRM was killed by the power of love. I mean, that was such a deep story. How didn't you get it? I'm kidding. It was terrible. Animated Alex. I hate if they do it, since Rick never mentioned the brother. Also, it would be pointless to introduce him in the final season of Daryl Dixon. Yeah, I agree. There would be, the only thing that it has is a gimmick. It's just a gimmick. It's just a gimmick for short-term spike of interest. That's all it is. I don't even know how long we've been going. Let me see if I can find... 44 minutes. We've been going for 44 minutes. Great question so far. We'll go for another maybe 15-20 minutes and then we'll call it a day. Masked Ninja. Have you seen Jericho? Lenny James plays a major character in it. Post-apocalyptic show. Jericho. I don't think I've checked it out. Jericho. Doesn't look new, does it? Doesn't look like it's new. 2006. How many seasons is it? I might check it out. There we go. 29 episodes. I might check it out. But it's an older video, or an older show, I mean. So I don't think there's going to be interest in people wanting me to break it down, but I might do like a recap, breakdown, discussion if I enjoy it, if I get a chance to watch it. We're getting near the end of the stream, like I said, 15-20 minutes, but don't forget to smash the like button on the video if you enjoyed this stream. It's been a great stream so far. If you're not a subscriber, which I'm assuming everyone who's already on the chat are subscribers, but if you're not, definitely subscribe. But also if you're watching back at some point, whoever's watching, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to join the community and press the bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. Animated Alex, it's a shame these spin-offs suck, because honestly, The Walking Dead has so much potential for spin-off material. Absolutely. I mean, on that one video that you mentioned, I don't know who it was, with my spin-off ideas, that's easily 3 spin-off ideas. Each could be easily 2 seasons, 3 seasons. And it doesn't have to include anyone we know. Doesn't have to include anyone we know. But it's still intriguing. Like, do one of those spin-offs with no one we know, and it'll still do well. Because there's a lot of interest in that type of story in this universe. But also, you can't do it and then pretend it doesn't exist later. You have to keep everything in line and make it all cohesive and, like, make sense in the story. Masked Ninja, show cancelled but continued in comic books. Oh, like it's based on the comics? That's cool. Animated Alex, not Walking Dead related, but I like the Halloween video you uploaded recently. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The Pumpkins After Dark, it was called. Yeah, it was so much fun, and yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed the video. I tried to make it a little different than what I usually post, and hopefully people enjoyed it as well. Synth DNA, you know I'm gonna be serious. I hate that some creators are needy for content and have nothing else to talk about. Yeah, absolutely. Not gonna name names. Animated Alex, have you watched Jerry Takes? He's also a Walking Dead YouTuber. Jerry's Takes. No, I have not. I haven't heard of him. Synth DNA, but I feel with you, my interest is sharing feels back. Sharing with Walking Dead. Yeah, I think what you mean is we share the same ideas as far as what's working and not working in the universe. I'm glad you think so. Animated Alex, I recommend him. He makes good content. Jerry's Takes. I'm gonna have to check him out. Jerry's Takes Plus, I'm assuming you mean? Does he have any Walking Dead stuff? Because you said he's a Walking Dead. I don't think this is the one you mean. Let me see. Jerry's Takes. Jerry's Takes. Jerry's Takes. Okay. I don't think I found it. Ah, there we go. I found it. Well, looking at some of his thumbnails, at least it looks like he's not on the hype machine, and he's genuine, and he's critical, which is great. I'll have to check him out. Mask Ninja. No, I mean they canceled the show but continued the show in the comic format. Oh, so it was a show and then it got canceled, but they continued the story in the comic. In a comic, did they go back and rewrite the other parts as comic too, or just continued it in the comic format? Animated Alex, he is very critical of spin-offs. Yeah, I mean, everyone should be. Again, I don't want to name names, but it feels like bigger YouTube channels that do Walking Dead are soft and mushy. It looks like they don't they don't cross certain things because they want to be AMC's good boys. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I was going to say. But for me, you can't really do that and be honest and be critical at the same time. You know what I mean? It feels like they don't have... Some of them, if they speak, it's very, like, back and forth. Like, they say they hate something, but they continue talking about it. It's like, at some point, it feels like they don't really have the moral backbone of, you know, a channel. It feels like they prioritize clicks and views and money over their, you know, moral status. You know what I mean? And others, it feels like they're blind to anything bad. It's like, yeah, this wasn't great for some people, but I really loved it. It's like, no, you didn't. Don't lie. You can't watch some of these episodes and not say that it sucks. Like, you can't sugarcoat things all the time, and you can't say everything is great. When something is crap, you need to say it's crap. Animated Alex. Walking Dead YouTubers are AMC dogs. Not you though, Ash, you're honest. It's like AMC pays them to not say bad things. Yeah, absolutely. Some more than others. Again, I'm not going to name names. I don't want to name names, but I think many of you know exactly which specific YouTubers I'm talking about. I mean, take a scroll through some YouTube content doing Walking Dead. Look at thumbnails, look at titles, look at the way they say things in their videos. You can't be an independent critic and say those things, or, you know, pivot your perspective to match what's expected of you to match right now with the way things are, you know? Like they say, this is great TV, great show, The Walking Dead is great, or The Walking Dead is good. Well, what are you comparing it to? If you're comparing to this apple with a rotten apple, then of course you're going to say it's better, right? But if you compare this apple to an apple that's the greatest apple you've ever eaten, you're not going to say it's great. So it's like their expectations is continuously getting lower and lower, and they're fine with it. Like, they're not even saying my expectations are lower and this is it. They're saying, no, my expectations have always been the same and the show is good. I'm enjoying it. Well, no, that's now you being dishonest, because your expectations have lowered, and that's why you enjoy it more, because your expectations are lower. You can't say that my expectations are the same, but the show is still good. No, it's not. Animated Alex, yeah, they're not genuine anymore like they used to be. Exactly. I mean, they gotta make the people come in some way. They have to keep the views going, the clicks going, the revenue flowing. They have to do that. Animated Alex, or The Walking Dead is back and great again when you know damn well they don't mean that. Yeah, exactly. Animated Alex is gonna make me talk more and get me into some YouTube drama and YouTube beef. Again, I'm not gonna say who, but why do you think there are certain channels that started maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, but um, they do like a Walking Dead video every day on topics that don't even matter, like topics that are whatever. You know what I mean? But they do it so frequently, and they ride the wave so much, and they ride the just, you know, praising it when it doesn't need to be praised, but then also not praising it because like trying to do both, trying to keep both sides happy. And we see in like 3 years they grew significantly. That doesn't happen by chance. They did it because they are trying to make both sides happy. They're trying to make AMC happy by saying this is great, praising it when it comes out and riding that wave and getting the views, but then weeks after or even days after saying it sucks. Well, why didn't you say it sucks the day it came out? Why are you saying it sucks later when you've already gotten your views from it? You know what I mean? And we see they have thousands of subscribers, but in turn, when someone who criticizes it repeatedly and consistently, doesn't grow as much because one, the push from the advertisers is not there because AMC knows not to make those channels. They're great for keeping The Walking Dead out there, but at the same time they don't want to push them as much because they don't want the negative voices out there more. And that's why they don't grow. Those types of channels don't grow. And I'm talking specifically if you're doing only Walking Dead or majority Walking Dead. Animated Alex, and even worse, people believe their outlandish theories. Yeah. I mean, there's some YouTubers that make like stupid theories, outlandish theories, and that's kind of a trend that gets views. And then there's a group that praises the show no matter what, and AMC pushes that type of channel. And there's a group that, again, back and forth, like I said, they're back and forth. AMC pushes them to an extent too, and there's a group that actually criticizes the show, and they're not in the whitelist of AMC. They don't get viewed the same. They get viewed as unqualified fan reviewers, but others don't. Or specifically, they AMC when they, or not AMC, but when Nicotero said that the unqualified internet reviewers, he was talking about those channels or those online reviewers that were critical of the show. So they love channels and critics that praise the show blindly, or the universe, or the franchise, whatever. But they have a problem as soon as someone says something bad about the show. Alright, we'll go for another maybe 5 minutes, and that'll be the end of the stream. I don't see any more comments coming in, so I'm assuming that the comments and questions are dying down as well. So we'll go for another maybe 4 minutes, like I said, and we'll call it a stream. Animated Alex, what would you say is your favorite season of The Walking Dead? Season 1. Season 1 for sure. Season 1, then Season 6, then Season 9, then Season 5. No, sorry. Season 5. Season 1 for sure, then Season 6, then probably Season 4, then 9, then 5. Synth Love DNA. I sometimes like to troll on those channels and go like, we're literally witnessing the Walking Dead rebirth. Yeah, absolutely. Animated Alex. Mine is Season 5. That season is so good, except for the bet stuff. Yeah. Season 5 was pretty good. I feel like Season 1 is definitely one. No question about it. Season 6 and 5 and 4 are all solid. Season 9 as well. And a big part of that was because of the whispers and Rick's exit and all of that. Yeah. I don't know what I just clicked. I was trying to come out of this screen and I don't know what I clicked. I think it did something. Anyway, sorry. Animated Alex. But yeah, Season 1 is a classic and iconic. Absolutely. Synth Love DNA, my season would be 1, 3, and 4. Season 1, yeah. Season 4, yeah. Season 3, I mean, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my top 3. But I could definitely see why you say Season 1 and 4 for sure. Yeah, you can't decide. Yeah, it's hard to decide. For a long time, I was going back and forth between Season 9 and Season 6 and all of that, but at this point, 1, 6, 5, 4, 9, or 4, 5, 9. One of those combinations. Because Synth Love DNA, because I really love Governor's solo story and Rick and Carl just surviving. Yeah, those were some good Walking Dead days, for sure. For sure. Animated Alex, I didn't like Season 7 and 8, but Negan and Simon carried those seasons. Yeah, they did. Season 7, I think Negan carried that. Season 8, Negan and Simon. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if the spin-offs were half as good as the stories of seasons 7 and 8, we would be okay. Something went into my eye just now. I don't know what it was. Anyway, getting tired, Ash? Well, I was just drinking coffee here, so hopefully no. Okay, I think that'll be the end of the stream here. No more comments coming in. Yeah, like I said earlier, we did the other stream last week, so this one's a quick stream, more quick than what we used to have, which is months and months. I don't know if I'll be able to do another one next week again, but I mean, if I do a stream next week, I don't think I'll do it Friday. I'll be able to do it Friday. I think if I do it, it'll be maybe Sunday, maybe. So check back to see if there's a stream. But I don't think I'll do a stream next week. But if I do, it'll be Sunday. But yeah, thanks everyone. Great questions. Thank you everyone for asking questions and keeping the live going. Appreciate all the support. I'll hopefully see you soon in another stream. Definitely I'll see you, or not see you, but you'll get another video in the next few days or something for on the channel. I don't know if it'll be Walking Dead. It might be Walking Dead, probably not. I think I'll do a little bit more of other stuff again. We'll see. Maybe Last of Us, maybe 28 years later, something like that. But obviously in January, the next 28 years later is coming out, so when I watch it, there'll be lots of videos for that. So stay tuned for that when it happens. And yeah, that's it then. I'll catch you all in the next one.